Happy Thanksgiving week.
You too.
Yeah, nice to see you guys. Everybody cooking? Yeah. Art, got a big turkey going? Oh, shoot, that's going to be dried out, isn't it? You don't care.
Put a lot of gravy on it.
That's cranberry sauce. What are we talking about? Hey, big college game this weekend, huh? Big college game. Bruins and Trojans. Yeah. That's a big matchup. Last week, it was a big deal, but this week, Notre Dame and Trojans. That's pretty big now. I know. Apple Cup's coming. It's a big matchup, and what an exciting year it's been for the Cougs on the run. It's really something. I know it's going to be exciting to see. Also, we got a big game too. We're traveling to Carolina in case you guys weren't keeping track. It's a very familiar matchup. Somebody told me we've been playing 9 years in a row or something like that against these guys. So it's almost like a division matchup for us and for them too. So we're looking forward, to getting revved up and getting it going. It's an exciting matchup. We know these guys pretty well. They know us pretty well. So it should be like a good battle for us. What's up?
They've changed coordinators. What's Norv brought to their offense?
Well, Norv, years of experience for sure. Norv has been through it all, and he's a great ball coach. I know he's having an effect on the quarterback as he always has. Norv and I go back a million years of just kind of old family stuff and all that with his brother and all that. So I've been watching his career. He's been a great ball coach. He's been through a ton and done a lot of good stuff. They're bombing the ball down the field. They got great balance. They're using everybody. They got a lot of receivers to use. The tight ends are good. He's got the great toy in Christian McCaffrey that they do all kinds of stuff with, and it's a difficult offense always when Cam's back there because he runs the ball so well.
Is he using or employing Newton any way differently than the others?
He's rushed for 350-something yards already, so he's involved with it as much as ever. I think that you can see that Norv has really watched the stuff they've done in the past and picked out the good things that they've done a nice job of blending it all together.
McCaffrey, that type of back who can do so much in their passing game as well. Just how tough are those guys to play against?
Yeah, he does everything. He's caught 60 passes already, so he's a real focal point in the offense, and he's running the ball with good average and scoring, both by the catches and from the ground. That's a real problem, and you just give him a whole nother dimension, that with Cam, and it just makes it really hard.
What's KJ Wright's situation this week?
He's still working to get back. We really can't talk injuries yet today, because we don't need to. So, but I'll say with KJ, he's working his way back.
How did JD look in practice?
We hadn't practiced yet, but he was in the walkthrough today, and he looks like he's as quick as ever. And jumping back in there, I'm excited to see him.
Was there a ramp-up time you're going to have with him? He's been out so many months, or
Yeah, we're not quite sure what it is yet because we're going to kind of play it by ear and see how he does. And he's been working out real hard to get to this point. We're not going to rush it. After all of this time, we want to make sure that he's well and strong and all that. I know he's going to look flashy and all, but we got to make sure we make a good decision on that. And we won't really know until we go through the week, and then we'll take it 1 week at a time.
I know you haven't practiced yet, but what's it like having Michael Kendricks back with you?
It's great for Michael in particular. He needs to get going and doing some stuff that's positive and all of that. And he had a really good experience with us before. We loved him playing for us. He couldn't wait to get back. We couldn't wait to get him back. So it's going to take a couple weeks to tune him back in. But he's really a well-rounded football player. He can do a lot of stuff, so when he gets back and we can suit him into the lineup and all that, it'll be fun to have him. I'm glad for him, for his sake, right now.
With KJ, is it something just some time down will be enough to get him back? Or do you need
We're going to find out. We're going to find out. We don't know.
After watching the Monday night game, do you feel like you're driving a 49 Ford pickup in a Formula One race?
No, not really. That's pretty impressive. Jeez.
What most stood out?
Some really good defensive coordinators on those staffs, too. I want you to know that were coaching ball last night, too. The offenses were just crazy. It was crazy. There were some huge defensive plays in the game, but there was so much offense and just so much explosion and all. It was as good a game as I can remember seeing. It reminds you like the old AFL games back in the day. It was just such a shootout. It was amazing.
And over the course of the season, can you tell how much the rules changes have influenced the offense in terms of?
Yeah, I've said it before that it certainly has. That was the whole idea, and But I don't think that's the reason. I think it's just the ball continues to evolve, and the throwing game continues to evolve, and the level of the play of the quarterback position continues to evolve. Even when you look at Drew Brees, he's maybe having his best year ever, and he's been playing for forever, and I just think this is just a case of evolution as well as some of the stuff. The most difficult part for the defense is there's just no hands. You can't grab anything at all, and that used to be somewhat allowed, but that's a stricter part of it. And you saw a lot of penalties last night, just illegal hand stuff. Guys trying to stay with people, so that's part of it. But
Have you had to do anything defensively during the season now to account?
no, this season isn't any different than really the last couple of years. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's since the grabbing of the jersey thing became apparent, that's a big change to me, because a guy all you got to do is see the grab of the jersey and it's a penalty, regardless of the impact on the play. That came in a couple of years ago, and that has made a bit of a difference.
You get the sense, I mean, when you're in the NFL meetings or whatever, this is sort of how the NFL wants it to be, kind of the increased scoring and things like that?
Well, I've been in the NFL for a long time. I think it's been this way for a really long time, yeah. It's trying to, make the game as explosive and exciting as possible, and offense really does that for a lot of people, and so that's, and protecting players too, has been a factor as well. So it's all fine, it's just the way it is. It's relative, and we're coached and officiated the same, so it doesn't matter.
How do you kind of view where your weak side spot's at right now? Arkevius started last week. Cleature played a bunch. Shaquem's there too. How would you kind of feel about where that group is at this
Well,
point?
we're gaining experience as we go. Austin's done a nice job when he's had his chances, and he's still a young player, so there's stuff to learn and all. But he's done a nice job, particularly just in the physical side of hitting and tackling and all. So we're gaining some depth, and Barkevius has done some nice stuff too, so we can do some things with him there. So we have some flexibility.
On the no hands, the last couple of years, has the league emphasized calling illegal contact on receivers no matter where it is? If it's a sack, if it's all the way across the field, not even in the play?
Well, yeah, in the last couple of years they have. That's what I'm telling you. Really, the grab of the jersey, I think, is the most obvious change, because you can see that so clearly. It's easy for the officials to call. The problem with it, as far as the coaches would be concerned, is it doesn't always affect the play. But so we just have to be really strict with it. So all of the other plays when guys aren't grabbing when they used to, is factoring in, I think, somewhat.
Stat out somewhere about Bobby Wagner not missing a tackle this season so far. Maybe we just kind of take it for granted because he's been doing it for so long, but how important has he been this year to you guys?
No, he's been the centerpiece of all of it on defense for years, and that's a pretty good stat. I don't know that stat, but he's not just playing; he's calling everything. He's giving people the adjustments and the confidence to play aggressively and get after it, because he knows what he's doing and he can help settle situations. He's a great communicator with Kenny as well, so that they can really get everything done just like we want to get it done. He's a fantastic player.
Has the communication side of it become more important for him this year just because of some of the youth around him?
Yeah, it's a good point. When KJ's in there, there's a different level of communication going on than when the new guys are in there, certainly. That's just a natural issue that you just got to grow with, and there's nothing to do about it.
You guys have rushed for, I think, 155 yards in 7 straight games. When you kind of look at that stat, and just what are the couple of biggest things you think have sort of really led to that and the turnaround from last year?
Yeah, I think it's about commitment and the commitment to practice it and talk it and then carry it out and coach it really well, so that we're able to do that. I mean, everybody wants to run the football, but to be that committed to it, I think that's really what's made the difference. The players obviously are suited. The guys up front are suited to run the football like that, and the running backs are suited to run the football like that, and Russell complements that as well. So, but I think everybody's in on it.
It's always how you've played, but do you take pride in today's NFL being almost the antithesis and doing it exactly opposite?
Yeah, I don't mind being different at all, I didn't mind it when we were in college either. We weren't spreading out and doing all the stuff that other people were doing. We were running a pretty balanced attack back in the day, and ran for a lot of yards with a lot of big time running backs. I think it's a great way to play, and when I look at in college football, and to look back, I look the way Nick's doing his stuff there. They still a very formidable running attack always, and in that, when you're playing all spread teams, week in and week out, it's a big transition for you, and it's being unique is okay, and particularly when you're being aggressive and tough.
What do you make of the fact that your defense was so good at, getting takeaways over the first part of the season, then haven't had any over the
Yeah, I
last
was really
2 years?
disappointed in that. It's been difficult. It makes it harder to win, and harder to get ahead and stay ahead without getting the football off other opponents. It amplifies also our few that we have given up in the same time span, and they've been significant because we haven't counted on the other side. It just kind of comes in numbers sometimes. You hear it talked about comes in bunches. That's really the truth. It's always seemed like that. And we had a pretty good roll going there, and then it just kind of got quiet. So what do I take of it is it's something that it just needs to draw even more emphasis and we're trying to make it our number one emphasis. We're going to continue to amplify and down the stretch here it's going to be absolutely crucial.
Is this the best that Tyler Lockett's been for you guys, and where have the biggest strides come from?
Yeah, he's off to the best start for sure. He's got more touchdowns than he's had, and if we can just keep pecking away at that, he will put together a fantastic season. But he's been great. He's been really consistent. It's been great to have him, in good health and all of that, and at top speed. You can see how effective he is. He's so fast, and he utilizes it really well. Probably more though, he's come through with great catches. He made a lot of great catches this year, and taking the ball away from guys at times and getting off his feet to make the plays he's made. I think that seems to have stands out more. Why, I don't know, other than he's just, he's on it and having a great season. He's a fantastic player, and so he and Russ have really hooked up. And in that time when Doug was not available to us, I think that that was a combination that was really necessary to keep us going, and they made the most of it.
Did you know before you got DJ Fluker that he was kind of the energy groundhog guy that he kind of is now?
No, I didn't know that as much. That's one of the surprises to me that he was as outgoing as he's been and as impacting as he's been. I didn't know that to the extent because he's big time. He's really a fireball and loves the game so much and doesn't mind sharing it and brings other people with him.
What did you first get with OTAs?
I don't know. It seems like it really kind of came out in camp when we got going, later than OTAs.
Did Quentin Jefferson play one of his better games the other day?
Did a good job. Yeah, did a good job. He's had a good season. He's been active throughout, and he's been obviously better this year than he's been in other years. And it just looks like experience is there. His strength and power is the best it's been, and he's done a nice job. He's been flexible too, that he can move around and do some different things for us.
How did you like the mix of Chris Carson and Penny on Thursday, and did you kind of see that going something similar this week?
Yeah, well, I think the mix of all three guys is what we're seeing. Mike's been involved too, and I think that it looked fine. I mean, it will change week to week some. And we'll see how that goes. Just depends on how things are going. But yeah, I like that Rashad was able to compliment and help us out. And too bad he got nicked a little bit in there, and to come out and get his ankle taped up and all that. He kind of missed a couple opportunities in there just to stay in the rhythm of it. But so it's good. It's a good competitive situation for sure.
3 or 4 games, Michael Dixon's numbers are up a little bit. Is he just hitting the ball better, or something changed for him? It just seems like.
Yeah, I do think that we've learned more about him, and I think Brian Snyder and Larry Izzo, those guys are working to find the right rhythm for workload, because he's a total worker. He wants to kick every day and kick a ton every day. I think they're learning more about how to rest him and how to keep him strong. That easily could be part of what's going on, because we were just having to find out early in the year. I'm hoping that we can continue to do a good job of that, because he's really been a factor.
How much with field position? How much of a factor has he been relative to what you
thought? He's been huge. This is a big part of how we're playing the game. We're counting on that ball being inside, around the 10-yard line when we take over a lot of times, and whether he's got to bomb it to get there or he's got to kick it high to get it there, he's got the ability to keep us down, and he's really been accurate. So he's been a great weapon for us.
Would you say that Doug is at 100% at this point?
He feels great. He really feels great. And I talked to him this morning. He really feels the best he's felt. He doesn't have any concerns right now at all. So he's practicing hard and working hard, and really energized by that.
You guys got to Rodgers 5 times for sacks. Is there much of a carryover to Newton, or is he a completely different case?
No, they're different. They're real different quarterbacks. But the way we rushed the passer in the second half, in particular, we had a number of sacks in the second half. Was everybody working together with great intensity and feeding off of one another. It wasn't any one guy highlighted, against a matchup or something like that. That was everybody's push, and the sacks were really a combination of guys' efforts. I'm hoping that will be a part again, because if you noticed, we broke the pocket down, and that's important to do with Cam as well, because he can get out and really scorch you too, And Aaron's all by himself in the way he does this stuff, and Cam is too in his own way. They're really unique players, I think, and I don't see them at all the same. However, they do wind up running and they hurt you with their legs. So it's a big challenge for us again.
You mentioned Rashad being nicked. Did that bother him the rest of the game at all, or?
No, he was okay. Once he got back, he was fine.
Carolina's been tough on defense under Rivera. Just how do they look this year?
Oh, they're really stout. I mean, you guys will recognize the names. You know, all those guys that you've been seeing for the years. There's enough of those guys that you can feel their old ways. You can feel their experience. You can feel the playmaking ability. You know, you can't fool these guys. You know, they're really sharp and savvy, and you know, Thomas is amazing, and Luke is amazing players, and Shaq is, their linebackers just jump out at you, but they're really stout up front. Addison's having a fantastic year, so it's really hard.
What has Mario Addison kind of done to become a big sack guy for them this year?
I just think he's just, you know, growing in experience, and he's on his game better than he's ever been, just because he's learned. His quickness and his consistency and getting after the QB is really obvious, and they have a really good push with their other big guys around him. So he's a nice compliment. It's exactly the kind of production that you're looking for. He's having a rushing year, kind of like Frank, and he's a problem for us.
Maybe it's trite, but what are you thankful for?
Yeah, I do think so. Yeah, it's trite. Oh, you have a question?
I did.
All right.
What do you think?
I'm thankful for the fun we're having in this season. To see these guys work so hard and share this experience that they're having, and it's been ongoing. You know, I've talked about it, I think, consistently to you guys since the off season. When they saw the opportunities and they went for it, and the attitude has just been so upbeat and so positive that they're enjoying it, and it's not just what you see in the locker room after a win. It's what these guys do on a daily basis. They're really good to be around, fun to be around, and I'm thankful that they make it fun for me. You know, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it. So, lucky to be here.
Anything else? Thank you.